Now when I say that we are looking for comparison, this is what happens. When let me copy this. So what happens is that when you go to this PubMed clinical trials or whichever database you want, you when you suggest a topic, you give me a topic and you give me the link, and then what happens is that that link or that shared study is not an RCT, but it's just a protocol. What's the difference? Whenever someone performs an RCT, they release a protocol in which they only mention what we will be doing. They do not give you any results. For meta-analysis, we need the results to do the analysis, right? So for this, how you can know if this is a protocol or if this is an actual RCT, you see the name actually mentions that this is a protocol. Although this is an RCT, but this is a protocol for that RCT. So this whole thing is just them mentioning what we will be doing. Now what we need to do is we need to find the study with results for this one, right? So this protocol wouldn't work. Pay attention to that when you're looking for RCTs. And now when this is another thing. When I say RCT, there are very broad categories of RCTs. We have crossover RCTs, we have parallel RCTs. But what you need to know for topic selection purposes that we have a single arm RCT, we have double arm RCTs, and then we have triple arm RCTs. What this means is that in single arm, only one arm is used. When we used the comparison, you will not find any comparison. There will only be one arm. And for comparison meta, we do not need one arm. You see, the title is literally telling you that, hey, I'm a single arm study. So when you're looking for topic, just discard this one because this is single arm. We don't need that. We need either double arm study or we need 3-arm studies. Let me open these two as well. So this one, you see how they are comparing different doses of RCTs, vitamin D. They are comparing 2 doses of daily vitamin D, so that becomes a 2-arm study. They are comparing the effect of 400 IU versus 1000 IU. Although the intervention is same, they are still comparing 2 arms. So in this case, our 400 IU vitamin D can be the intervention arm, and this 1000 IU can be the control arm, right? And then for third 3-arm studies, instead of 2 arms, there will be 3 arms. Here we have, they are checking here. We randomized 150 to either certified diabetes educator with a carbohydrate gram counting. So number one group, they are counting the carbohydrates, and other group, they are only doing the plate method, in which they are just putting everything in a plate without counting the carbohydrates, and then the general health education. So this becomes a 3-arm study. If you want to be sure about the arms, just scroll down to any of the table and you will find these they have a control carbohydrate counting, modified plate method, and then this combined. We can ignore these two. So this is a 3-arm study. For comparison meta, we can use double arm study, and we can also use 3-arm study, but we cannot use single arm study. And then we have the concept of duplicates. These are all the mistakes that students do when they are looking for topics. So I'm clarifying all these first, and then we will move to a bit more specification on how to look for a topic. So basically what happens is that if I take this NCT number, You see, this is clinicaltrial.gov registry, and when I go to this publication, this RCT or randomized controlled trial have lots of publications. You see, all of these publications are related to this study. Now, what happens is that when we are doing a meta-analysis, students give me all these links. When I open these links, I find that this is actually one study, and the links are just follow-up. What happens that when RCT starts, they give us results, and sometimes the RCTs go on for 5 years, 10 years. So they give us a follow-up results on 6 months, and then they give us follow-up results on 1 year, and then they give us follow-up results on 3 years, 5 years, and so on. What we want to do is we want to include the most recent study in our meta instead of adding all the versions of that RCT. And how do I know if I'm including the same study? Is by looking at this NCT number. Every RCT has this unique ID, that is NCT number, and regardless of the number of publications that study have, this NCT will always be the same. So always pay attention to this NCT number. If one study has one NCT, then you are good to go. That was regarding duplicates. And then last point regarding RCT is this. What happens is that, when people publish in conferences, they sometimes only uh, publish an abstract without a full text study. So how do I know if the study that I want to include in my topic is a full text study or just an abstract? You see how this top part mentions that this is meeting abstract 224 ASCO annual meeting. So from this I can tell that, okay, maybe this is just an abstract. And when I move down, abstracts usually have a unique number to them, and if you can find that, you can be sure that this is only an abstract. Or what you can do is you can copy this whole thing, paste in Google Scholar, click this all versions, and all whatever the versions are published, they will show up, and then click either. Okay, so this, you see this number 4088, this is possibly an abstract, and this is not a full study, so I do not want to include this into my topic. So when I say that we are looking for an RCT with comparison, we are looking for RCT with comparison, but we need to look at all these things as well, that, hey, am I accidentally including just a protocol? Am I including a single arm study instead of double and triple arm? Am I including duplicates of only one RCTs, and I think that I have 10 studies to pool, but in reality, this is only one study with multiple duplicate publications. And lastly, I want to see if the study that I'm including actually has a full text or not.